Right. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So let's go ahead and jump on into a today's topic video. This one is going to be for the 26th. I tend to like to put these out earlier, but obviously I'm a little bit behind because of all the moving and stuff. But I want to finally, now that I'm settled in, get things back on track for us. So let's go ahead and take a look. What is the message for the 26th, even though I know today is the day, and in some areas we're probably already on the 27th. We start with the Page of Wands. It is in the reverse. Page of Wands being in the reverse says we've got somebody who's either not taking that first step forward. They're not, I mean, they could be nervous, they could be scared, but they don't seem to be wanting to like gravitate toward any other new like adventure. This almost seems like somebody's lost their interest in venturing forward a little bit. We have a Ten of Swords in the reverse, so that would be why. AC, hey babe, good to see you, honey. With that Ten of Swords in the reverse, I would say that makes a lot of sense. If somebody doesn't want to venture forward because they're actually still going through a really painful ending, it might just be a heavy day for them. It could just be that simple that it's a bit too much. Hi everyone, Tammy, Don Divine, Anisha. Hi, I shouted to you in Egypt, babe. So great to see you all. Seven of Pentacles, Two of Cups in the reverse. Okay, I don't know how else to say this. This is probably not going to be a super gentle message, but we've got a masculine who is like, he's kind of like devastated in this storyline. So this could be really tough. And I don't read for genders, but we see a masculine here as our primary character. And it just seems like, normally a Seven of Pentacles is, it's been a long time and things have been slowly but surely taking shape and coming together. But in this case, what's been taking shape is like, she doesn't want me. This is over. And it's a really heavy day. That's what it seems like. The only card that is like positive is that Seven of Pentacles. All the rest of these are all kind of in a deficit position. So I'm wondering if it's just sinking in for this character. Like, she's gone. She doesn't want me. That's Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. This says it's not really the right time on something, but I almost feel like he's not done with this cycle as much as he thinks, okay, it's over. I get it. I didn't hear from her. She didn't respond to me. I don't know. Did he reach out and he didn't get a response back? Is that part of this problem? I'm not really sure. I want to change decks, and we're going to go with really pretty deck that I feel like is appropriate for this time of the year. Hi, everyone. So great to see you guys. We've got the Temperance card sideways. I would definitely agree that we have a character that is like, he's acting like he's making peace with something, but there's really no peace to be had. But let me just check on the Wheel of Fortune. This says it's a message from the universe to him on the 26th saying, you can say all you want that you get it. She doesn't want you. It's over. She or he, by the way. The only reason I'm saying she is because our lead characters seem to come across as a masculine. And here we've got a masculine and feminine. But that seems like it's blurrier than usual. I think I might have smudged my camera as I moved it. I was not very gentle with it when I moved. Okay, so we have the Hermit, and the Hermit is sideways. We have the Hierophant upright, and we have the Five of Cups. Okay, so the universe is saying very plainly, because this is to try to figure out what's going on with that Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. He's saying, I get it. She doesn't want me, but he's actually in a lot of pain today, but acting like he can accept it. However, the universe is like, this isn't a done deal. This isn't a finished story. You may want to say that it is, but you know that it's not, because there's some stuff that you really need to think about. Now, it could be that you see the spider here. Spiders trap stuff in their webs. And this could be that there's a lesson that he still is, unprepared to face, or it could be that she stays in his mind and in his heart all the time anyway. And it's like she is tangled up in the cobwebs of his mind. And if he keeps denying that instead of dealing with it, I mean, in this case, what he's dealing with seems to be the Five of Cups, which is pretty big devastation. And it may be because his higher self knows that this was a really special connection. Maybe this is one that, either he broke her heart, is the truth of it. I don't know if he's been waiting for her to reach out to him or if he reached out to her and didn't hear anything back. But all I can say, well, we'll go down that road in just a second. But it says that today we have this masculine trying to kind of tell themselves, I get it. It's over. It's been over for a long time. Just accept it and move on. But he's unable to do so because until he faces this other, like in this case, we'll call it reality, even though, of course, these are fictional stories. But this Hierophant can also represent like this is a person he wanted to marry. And that's the real reason this is something he needed to face, like how important this connection really was, instead of saying, whatever, it's not a Two of Cups. This sucked, but you know what? It's fine. She wasn't the right person anyway. And I almost says, but maybe she was, and maybe that's the real reason this hurts. I mean, look, I think that there's more than one right person for us out there. I think that there's more than one right person. We live a really long time as humans, and I don't subscribe to the idea that there's only one person in this lifetime that could ever be right for us, because then what if you never find that person? So you're just destined to, roam about and be, wailing on the moors as a ghost by yourself. I don't believe that. Five of Wands is here. He does need to think about some stuff, though. This person, I almost think that the universe is saying, don't discount this and act like whatever, she wasn't the Two of Cups. This was just a painful ending, but it doesn't matter. The universe is like, you need to think about this a little bit more. Can we change decks here and just ask for the bigger message? Because I keep feeling like there's something that he's trying to brush off. And maybe it's because it hurts, it stings. Of course, we want to brush off stuff that hurts. But the universe is almost like, don't brush this off. I don't know. Let's ask. Universe, what's the big message that you're trying to convey? We got a Queen of Cups in the reverse. We got the Moon upright. Okay, so hang on. If he's trying to brush us off and act like, oh, it wasn't a Two of Cups, she was a false Two of Cups, I'm wondering if in his subconscious he's like trying to vilify her, and the universe is like, don't do that. She's not a Queen of Cups in the reverse that was somehow emotionally manipulating you. Don't, if you're trying to say that, you might be hiding the real truth from yourself. Hang on. So universe, what's the real truth in this? Instead of asking him to figure it out, how about you help me figure it out? 10 of Swords upright, Wheel of Fortune upright. Again, the universe is real fond of the Wheel of Fortune in this story, right? And we've already seen the 10 of Swords in the reverse once, but this time the universe is saying, well, on one hand, yes, he does hurt. The big message that I'm trying to get him to see is that you hurt because this is the right time for you to either look at, like, why did you meet this person? What did they help you learn? How did this benefit your life? Instead of saying, oh, it sucked, she wasn't a Two of Cups. No, the better question here to look at is, I must have crossed paths with this person. And even sometimes deep disappointment and something that stings, why would it sting so much if she wasn't anything important? Maybe she was a huge lesson. Maybe you're not going to be with her, but don't fail to see the lesson. If something stings, maybe it's because there's more here to like absorb. Now, it doesn't mean that they're supposed to be happily ever after. We don't really know what the context of all of this was. Universe, in a perfect world, what might have been the best outcome for these two? Two of Swords sideways. They both might have started to recognize where blockages were and think about like doing some self-reflection and learning how to remove blockages. Okay, let's go over here. And can I just ask, with this lead character here, if you're feeling hurt over this today and you're struggling to let this go while still trying to say, oh, it wasn't any big thing, I can let it go. Yeah, it looks like you deep down know better. So let me just ask, what would you have wanted the outcome to be? The Fool. I would have wanted to take a leap of faith. Okay, a leap of faith. So let me go back to that earlier question, which was, did you try to have a leap of faith? Did you reach out to her? We've got the World. We've got the Page of Wands. Okay, so hang on, because this actually says, yeah, I did. I tried to take a step toward her about starting a new cycle. Okay, and then what happens? Nothing. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Nothing happened with it. It didn't go anywhere. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse says, nothing. I mean, I didn't get any response. It might have just been crickets, because the Seven of Pentacles, by the way, we've already had that as well, where you plant things that are supposed to grow. And here, I mean, it's a pretty barren field that he's got on that other Seven of Pentacles card. Now, granted, we have him planting pentacles. Normally, that's a card of harvesting. So he's acting like, I tried to start things all over again with her. I tried to have a new cycle with her, and I got crickets. Hang on, we need one more deck, which is tough because a lot of my decks are still packed up in boxes, and right now I can't tell which box holds which, and I didn't want to devote today to unpacking. So we're going to pull out some older decks that I had. Bizarrely, the older decks were accessible, and the decks that I tend to like, at least right now, those are the ones I can't get to. Okay, so on her side, we've got a Four of Air. And when I say her, please remember this could be a him as well. This says she's been in silence and solitude trying to heal, but I'm wondering, with all those quill pens, did these two already have some back and forth communication? I mean, on her side, it looks like there might have already been conversation. Ace of Air. So that can be the sword of truth. That can be the sword that cuts somebody out of another person's life, or there could have, again, been, wow, all this air. Two of Swords sideways. Now, remember, when we talked to the universe and said, universe, what was possibly the best interaction that these two could have had? The universe is like, to look at blockages and look at how to remove blockages, to figure out what they're blocking from actually, welcoming into their own lives. That would have been a great experience for the two of them to recognize some things about themselves, about what they block, about how they communicate. So basically, with all this air, and the big message from the universe having to also be that Two of Swords sideways, I'm going to say that communication was their biggest lesson, or the thing that they could have come together and worked on the most as a duo. Now, on our, we're going to say feminine side, all we see for her is silence and having to try to heal from things. But I almost feel like there was a lot of effort in communication. I don't know if it was one-sided. Let me just see. How did you perceive this whole situation, feminine? Ooh. We've got Knight of Air, which is fast moving. That's our, Knight of Swords. We have the Chariot. Again, we see the horse's, mane is flying. So it was full speed ahead. She was all into this. She felt like he was all into this. Four of Pentacles, and then somebody held back, unless it was passion. So I'm thinking that I think this thing in her mind, she's like, oh, it got off to a breakneck pace. But he came in as a knight. Maybe she, and I'm only going to say she came in more serious, is because she's riding the Chariot. He's riding on the knight's horse. So I'm guessing that this situationship started a bang, right? I mean, this was, I'm hearing Charlie XCX, boom, clap, the sound of my heart. Love that song. But it feels like they were just nuts about each other. They're even racing toward each other if you look at the way the horses are oriented. So these two were like, let's do this. Oh my God, I want to be with you. And then it's like, oh my God, I want to be with you for some good loving. But, oh wait, building something? Yeah, I'm not going to be putting in effort like that. I'm going to say it was him who didn't put in the real effort. He would travel to go see her. He would drive to her house. She would go anywhere to meet him. The two of them were willing to head toward each other. They would have done anything to get together, but it was for the passion, not for the building of the long term. At least I'm going to say on the knight's part. And I only say that because a Chariot is much more secure. She could be a Cancerian, by the way, now that we have a major arcana for her. Her emotions were absolutely there. She was giving her emotions. She wanted to build. And it looks like he wanted to have passion. Those Knights of Swords, I mean, they move fast, but and the passion was real and sincere, but it doesn't look like there was real effort being put into building something that would be grounded and stable, at least in her mind. What did you want from him? I'm thinking that you probably wanted something, more serious. We have the Tower. Tower is like, I wanted like an ego collapse. I wanted him to maybe tell me how he really felt. She, look, I'm just going to say it because it's at the tip of my tongue. She might have wanted him to move in. I wanted him to be with me. Two of Fire. I wanted him to obviously choose me. But instead, it's like he stood on this precipice of, I don't really know what I want to do with you. So I think she was made to feel like he was indecisive. Hang on, did you communicate stuff to him? Because we saw all that air at the beginning, which is either thoughts or communication. Justice. Oh, hell yeah, she did. She said it bluntly. Also strong Libra. By the way, I will be doing zodiacs today, guys. We're going to start out with Libra. We're going to do a little tip of the hat to the north nodes, and my intention is to get through all zodiacs, even though it'll take me today and tonight. That's a little break in between. But we've got strong Libra energy coming in. So she could have either been dealing with him and he could be a Libra, or she could have Libra in her chart. But obviously she thought maybe it's just that he doesn't understand what feels mixed up about this. Like, I'm ready to like put more into it, and I'm feeling like you're still standing there at a precipice, not sure if you actually want to let me in for anything more than passion. So who am I to you? It makes me feel like, we're not on equal footing here. You want me to love you and respect you and even be faithful, but I don't see you being consistent or wanting to give me much of yourself in return. Like, that's not a fair trade. I feel like she tried to explain it, like the pillars, the foundation of what a relationship would look like, what she's looking for. The reason I would say she thought maybe he didn't know is because we have the full moon right over this, like very virile image of this elk. I think that's elk. I would say that's more than just a big deer, but I could be wrong. But she just stands there like, I explained this felt really unfair. Okay, so she did talk it out. That's why we had all that air at the beginning. So she tried to express, she tried to talk about what she was seeking for balance. And how do you feel that was received by him? And then we'll go back to him in just a second. The Three of Pentacles. Well, it looks like they talked it back and forth. It looks like there was like communication, she says. Eight of Wands sideways. Again, there was communication back and forth. I don't know that it was then, acted upon. Oh, okay. So the action was then heartbreak after that. Chrissy, you angel. Thank you so much, Chrissy. You guys, if your names just turned green, that is courtesy of Chrissy just having gifted 5 memberships. So Nikki O, 11D8, Ellie, AJ's Bare Feet, and Nora A. You guys are all members courtesy of Chrissy. Chrissy, can I say thank you to you on Monday, babe? I'll do a couple of little cards for you on the members video. Look, it led to heartbreak. Whatever the dialogue was, there was first like some kind of effort and seeming cooperation, and then it was reversed, or it was not acted upon, and then what actually happened, at least in our feminine's mind, is heartbreak. So that's kind of the backstory here. But remember, this is just a message for the 26th, and the message began, let's go back to the beginning, with this masculine is saying, nothing's happening. You know what? It's over. She wasn't a 2 of Cups. I hurt really, really freaking bad, but it's just time to move on, I guess. But the universe is like, well, good luck with that. You're not going to be moving on. This sucks. This hurts. You don't have peace. And it's because you're not paying attention to the lesson that was here. You're actually going to prolong your hurt and pain if you keep trying to act like, whatevs, she wasn't the right person for me. So, because I didn't hear back from her when I tried to start a new cycle with her. I'm wondering, did she get a message? Let's ask her, did you get a message from him, or is there something missing in this? I can't figure this out. Is there something missing? 6 of Wands. I'm asking her, did she get a message from him? 10 of Pentacles, King of Swords. Is she about to get a message from him? The reason I'm kind of like thinking that she hasn't yet received it but will still is because this looks super successful, and I seriously doubt that somebody who's that, like progressive and, in the Chariot's energy, like she wanted to move this forward. She talked it out with him. She explained what she would need. It seemed like things were going to be on board. Then it wasn't. Then it was a total heartbreak. It's hard for me to believe that if he then, you know, reached out and said, wait, no, like I really want to, build this with you, that she would be then gloating and saying, ha ha, I got him to now want to build with me, but F off. Like, I don't see her doing that. She wouldn't be riding in a chariot, moving forward with, solid emotions and conversing and, you know, interacting with them consistently. And then all of a sudden just be like, ha ha, I win. Now you want me, but I'm going to blow you off. I don't see that happening. So I'm guessing that this message, I don't think she's gotten it yet. When did you reach out to her, character? We need to go back to that, because he's in like a world of hurt today, right? He's on a hurt locker. And I think maybe he thinks he sent something and it never sent. When do you think you reached out to her for a new beginning? Two of Pentacles. Dude, you didn't freaking do it now, did you? He's like, I don't know. I thought I did. No, honey, she didn't get a message from you. If she did, she would actually be saying, wow, this person, this would feel amazing if they were consistent, real, ready to give, took the time to write me something that was substantial. That would feel freaking amazing. But remember, she's over here saying, no, what I got for my efforts was heartbreak. I didn't get an interaction from them. Oh, he's on the cusp. Okay, I'm so sorry, you guys. It took me this long to get here. So we have the Knight of Swords again. We have him weighing, should I reach out today on the 26th? But he's starting out his day by saying, this is stupid. And nothing comes of this. She's not going to want me. And he's really in a down, Debbie Downer mood, right? He's in a lot of pain. He's sure that it's been too long. He's sure she won't want anything to do with him, but he hasn't even tried yet. He's on the cusp of thinking about reaching out, but trying to talk himself out of it. I'm sorry, I didn't get that until just now, because Two of Pentacles, and then we go back to that Knight of Swords. Should I just go ahead and do it? Should I mean, it's stupid. She won't want me. So like it's almost like I think he's thought about this for such a long time and hasn't done it. So in his mind, it's like, well, I want a new beginning. Maybe he was waiting, hoping that she'd reach out to him. Let me just ask, why have you not reached out to her yet? The Empress. I'm just going to say intimidation. Intimidation is why he hasn't actually reached out yet. Okay, so we've got Page of Swords. His mind is a freaking maze. I will tell you, this is there's one other card that I bought this deck for, but this card and the Strength card in this deck are lots of times if I find a deck that's like, I'm just so sucked in, I just have to have like a particular image, and this was one of them, because I thought, oh, that's such a great visual. He goes through the journey of his mind and way overthinks things. It seems like spying on her, or he's just thought a lot about her and he's realized she really is an empress, and it's really hard to ask for an empress to like, hey, I would like to be serious. I'd like to start things all over with you. Why didn't you seem to like want to put down roots with her before? Because that's a real deep question here as well. King of Pentacles. What do you mean you did? I don't get that. What do you mean you did want to? The Sun in the reverse. I was just unclear, or I was unhappy. Which is it? You were unclear or you were unhappy? There's that Strength card that I said. This is the other card that I bought this deck for. It was, I just loved that image. I thought it was so impressive. I don't know if he was unsure if he could be the alpha in her world. I'm not saying he wants to be like stronger than her exactly, but if he was like, will she look at me as her like equal, her protector, her defender, maybe has a strong desire to be all those things. And if the bottom line is I wanted something serious with her, but she's a freaking empress. And especially, like maybe he had to sift through the fact that he was feeling kind of nervous around somebody like her. Maybe he never met somebody that he felt was like, wow, she already kind of brings everything she needs to the table. So am I going to have something to offer her? Remember, she was the one who was trying, I don't know, she thought he had some ego. Because if we go back over here, we saw the tower on her side when it was like, what did you want from him? And she's like, I wanted like the ego thing to drop. I wanted it to be like this person to be more serious. I wanted to get to serious communication, but instead it seemed like they were unsure about me. What they were unsure about, as it turns out, is whether or not they were going to be able to be the, lion of her life. It was strong Leo energy here. They could have a ton of Leo in their chart, but they were just, I think, unsure about, will I offer enough to her to make her see me in the light that I want her to see me in? Okay, so it was an ego-based thing. No wonder, hallelujah, that the universe was like, oh, honey, you can try to move on from this, say, never mind, she's not right for me, when really what you're trying to do is weasel out of the nervousness of coming back and saying, listen, I really wanted to be with you. I really did. I was just nervous that maybe I wouldn't be enough for you. The universe is not letting him walk on with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. If he tries to walk on today and just never mind, I'm not going to reach out, it's really that most of him wants to reach out. And the universe is saying, even think about letting this go. It's going to eat a little hole in your mind, because the truth of it is, there's a really big lesson in this. If you try to walk away and pretend that, oh, she just wasn't a Two of Cups, she wouldn't, respond to me. He hasn't reached out because he's so petrified to find out if she'll even reach out. So we have basically the same worry again and again and again with him. The same fears that he had at the beginning. I'm not sure that she'll see me as her alpha pair mate and somebody who's, got what she wants. And I'm almost scared to find out. So although I want her, I started out with passion, but I didn't know if I could really do relationship with her, because what if it'll hurt more if I'm all in and then she says, hey, you're not measuring up, peace out. So that seems to be why he never put the effort in before. And at this point, even though some time has passed, now it's like, great, now I'm going to try to reach back out for a do-over, give her everything I've got, hope and pray that it's enough. I almost don't want to find out what the answer is. So instead, maybe I'll say, this isn't going to work. I'm sure she wouldn't respond to me anyway. She's probably not my Two of Cups. And the universe is like, full stop. You want to pull that stunt, go ahead, but it's going to sting for a real, real long time. You can walk away from this one, but you're never going to forget her. It won't matter where you move. It won't matter where you travel. It won't matter who else you meet. She's not going to be out of your heart because you haven't been honest with yourself. This has all been your ego in the way. Okay, well then, so what are you going to do? Because I think he already knows what he's actually going to do. I know he's in the Two of Pentacles, but we know he does do sudden movements, right? We saw him as the Knight of Swords twice. I almost think that, even though he's leaning and arguing why he shouldn't reach out, I almost think it's going to be the exact opposite way, just suddenly, and just like blurt it out, spit it out, send the message, make the phone call. Five of Wands in the reverse. You can't handle too much more of this round and round and round. We've got the Nine of Pentacles upright. Nine of Pentacles upright. That's her. That's her on his mind. That's her single. That's her. I don't think that him trying to talk himself out of contacting her is going to work at all, because this is like everything else in his world today in particular is kind of fading away, and what's left is her. He may spy a little to see, does it seem like she's single? Because I think today's the day I got to talk to her. Let's get one last card. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. I don't know. I don't know that he's doing anything about this today other than feeling freaking miserable. So I'm sorry, that was a long, winding story just to say he still seems to be doing nothing today other than sitting there in misery, fighting with himself about what he wants to do, but hasn't done, isn't doing. That's how that's coming across to me right now, is that he's in that place of still fighting with himself. Then he's going to have a very unpleasant day. And I'm so sorry to be so rude about it, but he's the one in charge of his own actions, reactions. Nothing that he's doing is making himself happy. The idea of moving on and pretending like she doesn't matter, that's not making him happy. The idea of holding back isn't making him happy. The idea of reaching out isn't particularly feeling comfortable. So he's going to sit in his discomfort today. Sorry, it's just those are the cards that we got. Okay, so we do need to pull a birthday message. And did I just see? Let me back up. Empress energy. Oh, honey, did I forget the 23rd? I'm sorry. There are some times where my brain just goes, and especially lately, mine has been. I've just been so like scattered. I feel like lately. I will do one for the 23rd right now in this video, okay, to make up for it. And then we'll do one for the 26th. I know that I got the two last night, right? So I did the 24th and the 25th. But let's go ahead. Let's do a message first for the 23rd, Empress Energy. Thank you so much for letting me know. I'm sorry now it's going to be all, excuse me, all wonky and be in this video. But if we can fix mistakes, I always will. I'm sorry, moving really. This move was a wild ride. There were a lot of crazy things that happened in like span of 72 hours, but it all worked out great. All right, so message for a birthday on the 23rd. We have got the 9 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, good. That's freedom of stress and tension. That's absolutely awesome. 4 of Pentacles upright. 8 of Wands upright. We have communication, thoughtful communication. A lot of things that have been held back will likely be acted upon, or a lot of opportunities that were, held back will actually come forward. Now, when I do these birthday messages, I kind of am looking at the year ahead for a character whose birthday is, on the 23rd. And it says that sometimes things that have taken 4 years and have been sitting on the back burner for us, things that we either gave up on or we used to stress out about a lot, those things still come to pass because we have a sudden like motion forward. We have action forward. We have things that maybe were delayed. Maybe some things were like simmering on a back burner, kind of like a nice pot of spaghetti sauce. But we have things that are actually maybe needed more time to come to fruition. Now, other things will go up in smoke. They won't matter as much. Not everything that we've either has been withheld from our character will come to pass, but our character will move on from certain things. Some stuff goes up in smoke and we realize it doesn't matter anymore. So this could be a year where a character simultaneous moves on from stuff, lets some things go, and then likewise certain things pop up in a character's world and it's like, oh wow, I can't believe this. I applied for that job 4 months ago. They're just now calling me back. But you know what? It's the perfect time. I've actually had that happen in my own life where I applied for something. They had just hired somebody, but said, can we keep you on file? And I was like, sure. And I was like, I'll never hear from them. Then I heard from them, but I had just started someplace else. I'm like, so sorry, but if anything changes, I'll reach out to you. Then I reach out to them again. And then we wound up working together. And it was just like the timing over the course of months had to be right. And it was terrific, and I just feel like that could be a lot of things are going to get smoothed out. Other things will be let go, but the big thing is so much less stressful. I think it's almost like it's a year where it'll be easier to roll with like trust in the universe. Like, oh, so sometimes stuff that is slated for me, it's coming. It's just coming when it's on the universe's schedule instead of my own. Just like, if we want to ride the bus somewhere, but we're waiting for the bus to arrive, it's like, well, the bus has to get there. The bus has its schedule and we are just going to have to wait until it gets to us. But it's coming. It's coming. Okay, hang on. And then for the 26th, I'm trying to get a deck and I've got 2 of them mushed together. All right, so for a birthday on the 26th, here we go. We have got the Eight of Wands, the Empress, and the Strength card. And this is actually the card that I bought this particular deck for. I love this one. So this could be the year of the Empress. It's a year for forward motion. If a character has big plans for her life, his life, doesn't matter. This is a year of nurturing things, growing things. Somebody's tree of life is going to be expanding. The ideas that they have are taking shape, taking root, taking hold. It is a year to take care of things, though, and communicate what a character needs. Learning how to delegate is going to be really important, because instead of being Atlas and carrying the entire world on one's shoulders, it's like, okay, hang on. We have the strength to do almost anything, but an Empress knows how to delegate. This is especially like she could expedite all of the things that she wants to see happen in her life, as long as she remembers that I am strong, but how do I use my strength in the wisest possible way? Getting a team together, by learning to delegate, progress as human, by remembering to communicate, and like, I'm not the only person holding all of the strings. I think that's a big lesson for an Empress, but she will definitely master it because it's the year of Empress energy. Empresses tend to be the people that get married. Empresses tend to be the people that run businesses. They tend to be the people that, make massive impact in the world. What she's taking on in this next year is big, but the success is like kind of guaranteed. But it does say her biggest struggle is going to be having the strength to recognize when it's too heavy and she needs to delegate. Actually, really nice message on that too. All right, you guys, so wonderful to see everybody. Dawn Divine, I will tell you, I think I just feel so elated. I know it'll still hit me in a couple days how tired I actually am, because I was running on just a couple hours of sleep for a couple days there, and you can still see I look a little haggard right now. But I'm happy and I'm delighted to see everybody. I've missed you guys. I miss it when I don't get to do my stories, and today I'm like, I get to be in my new space, which I absolutely love, even though I have lots to unpack, but I get to do that with fun. And my mom's going to come out and help me. I never am that great at decorating, and she loves it. And so I just kind of hand it over to her. So I'm really excited. So she'll be here in a bit, a couple days or so. And then I have an amazing decorator to make my house look more friendly. So, I tend to hang things in the wrong spaces. My mom and one of my sisters have always been like, they're great. And they come in and they're like, okay, why here? Why did you hang this here? And I'm like, oh, I like that. And they're like, yes, but put it where it belongs. And I cannot see when they move it. I'm like, yeah, that totally looks better. But I don't have the like spatial, and they're like, you paint, and I'm like, yeah, but on a painting, I can just blot it out and put it over here. But when you're talking about poking holes in walls, once it's up, it's staying. So now I don't poke holes in walls and hang anything. I let somebody else tell me where it should go. Courtney, you sweetheart. I'm a sloppy little nester, but I've got the furniture set, and I think that it's all in the right places. But the real decoration is up to somebody else. But it'll go well later on. So Annie S, so good to see you. Ken, hi. Oh, Ken, aren't they great? Yeah, Rainbow Kitten Surprise. I just found out about that band this year, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really like, especially Free Fall and Code Blue. So yeah. Illuminate with love. Hi, honey. Thank you so much. Hi, Nor A. Thank you, love. And Chrissy, thank you again. It's so incredibly generous, love. Shriza Ali, Dun Divine, Teresa Autry, Sarah J. Hola, ¿cómo estás? You're in Portugal. That's wonderful. Oh, Portugal looks amazing. Wonder Tea, you're so kind. Thank you. Oh, this is a gift from my mama for Christmas. Like, I think 2 years ago. Yeah, she's got great taste. My mommy always knows I like big jewelry. Leah, hi. Oh, Dawn, I bet. Oh, Canada's so gorgeous anyway. I fell in love with Canada. That is some big, wide open country, let me tell you. I drove many, many, many hours up to Arrow Lake in Canada, and it was spectacular. And Arrow Lake was so incredible. That car ferry was like burned into my memory. It was one of the greatest car ferries I've ever been on. Hi, Kristen. Oh, that's wonderful. Happy birthday, honey. Chrissy, happy birthday in your fall season also, honey. Geminis. Hi, guys. Daniela W., thank you. And Damien, I hear you. Yeah. Catherine Hart, so nice to see you. Nikki O, so nice to catch you. Stephanie D. Leslie Princess, hi, hon. Chocolate Barbie, so good to see you today. Yeah, and yes, we'll integrate a little message for North Node in each one of the zodiacs that I do today, okay? Sorry, this first video got so long. We won't do such long ones for the zodiacs, but we're going to get to those next. We'll do a collective late tonight, but I'd like to get to our zodiacs now. All right, you guys. Family account Ivy, so good to see you, love. Angel. Hey, Rhonda. Chrissy, thank you again. Babe, can I pull? I don't see your message. Okay, I think that's a yes. Okay. I see your heart and your hands, and so I'm going to say that's for me. I'll see you on Monday in the Members Corner, love. Black Butterfly 25. Hi, sweetheart. Becky O, Kins, Angel. All right, everybody. Hi, MK, you sweetheart. Thank you. I missed you guys too. Summer, Tammy Johnson, AC. Oh my God, Shriza Ali, thank you. My eyes almost, sorry, there's so much going on. My eyes almost missed you there. Shriza Ali, thank you. Shriza just gifted 5 memberships also. So Tammy Johnson, Aisha Hayati, So Intuit 333, Dom's Vibranium Bicep, and Morg's Machine. You guys are all members, courtesy of Shriza Ali. Shriza, can I pull you a little thank you card on Monday? Hang on, I've got to make my little list here so I don't get lost on Monday. I always have my little I always say I'm not a Virgo, and then I go do very Virgo things, but there's no way that I could possibly keep everything in my head. So thank you guys so much. I can't believe how kind you are to me, how kind you are to each other. Oh my gosh. So everyone who is a member, just so you guys know, you now have access to the members playlist. And if you go there to the members playlist, you'll notice that they all go like in order of most recent to oldest. So definitely make sure you pop into our most recent Monday members video. Even if it's just to listen to the couple minutes at the beginning for the intro, because I kind of explained to you what we do in the members corner. And every week you guys can enter to win, because I randomly do some card pulls for a member. Also, if it is your birthday month, let me know in the members corner. I do a little card pull if it is your birthday month. I do it by month, not by zodiac, because I would get like overwhelmed. So instead I do it by month, so that it has, if your birthday is still in September, let me know. And then when we get to October, then we'll start doing Octobers. But just let me know if you are still a September baby and you're a new member. And then I do a little 3-card pull. So let me think what else. Oh, also every week in Members Corner, you guys get to vote for whatever trio of topics you'd like me to do. So I've posted that yesterday, so you guys can vote and see what trio of topics, because each Monday we do a members only video based off of a collection of ideas that you guys would like a story to be about. So anyway, awesome, Shriza Ali. I'll see you on Monday, babe. Earth Magic, thank you. It's going really well. Thank you, Black Butterfly. It is. Jessica Rios, thank you, love. It feels nice. It's going to make my life a lot smoother and easier to be where I'm located now. So, hi, Jessie. Hi, Patricia. Rachel's Magic, absolutely. Aries has been, oh my God. When we first moved into this new house, the first night, I was like sitting, I finally brought in like a big chair, even though I still don't have a couch that fits through the door. So that's tough. But anyway, he ran around the house and he checked and he was like, oh, Aries' house is here now. And then he laid on my feet. to be like, okay, but you're staying here, because he's aware that the other house still exists and we still have more stuff, little stuff that I have to, go over and clean and get that stuff out. But he was like, you're not leaving Aries here and you're going the other place, right? You stay with Aries. And so he has not let me out of his sight, just because change is different for him. But it's been really cute. And I realize he's exhausted. He's so tired. He is so tired because he doesn't sleep if I don't sleep. And so he's had exactly as many hours of sleep as I've had. And he's just like over it right now. Raven T Maniac, so nice to see you, love. G Long, you made it in the perfect time to say hi. So delighted to see you. Hi, Marissa. Shout out to you in Montreal. Patricia Bocator, happy birthday to your mommy. Tell your mommy I love her because she brought you into this world. GOSCP1, sorry, GOSC1OP. So sorry, I mash your name every single time. It's nice to see you, love. All right, you guys. Thank you, everybody. We'll get to some zodiacs now. Chocolate Barbie, that is so sweet. I am so honored. Thank you, love. You're so awesome. Thank you for being here. Caitlin V, hi. All right, everybody. G-Mom, oh, gee, I have to put on Tarot Dog. I promised I would post a picture of my mom's bathroom. It's a shrine at Wildcats, but she has, I think she's at 162 little tiny pictures that she hung in her bathroom. It's very much the way they display artwork at the Louvre, and that's where she was inspired. And so I promised that I would show you'll only be able to see like 2 walls worth just because of the angle, but it's pretty wild. And I said I would remember to post a picture. I'll try to remember to do that tonight. Let me write myself a note. Post a picture. But you know what? My mom doesn't have any pictures of Aries on her wall of cats. Oh God, that means she's going to try to get me to do that to my house. How much you want to bet? I can't do that much. That'd be overwhelming for me. All right, you guys, lots of love. I'll see you today. Bye.